this as short as I can. Dealing with some issues. Alrighty. Let's check the live real quick. Okay, sound is good. Video is good. Right. All right, go ahead and get started. Shalom, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Kol Halemla Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rukakadash. All praises be to the Most High, Yahweh, in the name of His Son and the Lord and Savior, Yahweh Shai, to the 144,000, and double line respect to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Coming back at you with another lesson. Signs in the earth. Signs in the earth. So I just had a few scriptures that I put together. I want to go into them. I'm not going to make this long, Lord willing. So I just want to talk about this. I was about to say blue moon again. I was getting ready to say a blue moon. No, my goodness. Blood moon. My goodness gracious. Okay. So, let's get it. Let's go. There's a few things going on at evening time in this area. Evening time evening time is around 7:10 is when the sun sets, and that brings in the new moon and the Sabbath, the Passover. It's around 10 after 7 in this area. And then I went and did the research and looked up this blood moon, and according to what I saw, don't know how reliable that source is, but the blood moon should be visible, and it's going to vary in different areas between 2:30 and 3:30 in the morning. The Sabbaths are new moons that come in at sundown. So this is a sign or a wonder. And historically, blood moons represent signs, times, or judgments. So I didn't find a whole lot of historical accounts, but I really didn't put a lot of time into it this time to research it. So the Passover, sundown, and everything represents Yahweh Shai, which is the Passover or sacrificial lamb, Yahushua. And that lamb has to be cooked and finished just before sundown, or before sunset, when the Sabbath comes in, where the fire is put out. And eating it, have to eat it in haste. And we usually set up with the menorah, with the Torah, and the ram's horn. But we're rehearsing the righteous acts. So we're trying to do or rehearse the righteous acts to the best of our ability based on what we have. And unleavened bread, and clearing our homes of unleavened. Also clearing our hearts and minds of leaven, malice, envy, pride, wrath, so forth and so on. The old man. And then the unleavened bread for a week, and the Sabbath goes out Thursday evening on the 20th at sundown. I don't have a calendar in front of me, but we know that when the sunset comes in tonight, the Sabbath goes out. Well, it's still a Sabbath, okay? We got unleavened bread and no yeast or leaven for this week, 7 days, and that ends sundown on the 20th at sundown. Okay, so we do the best we can to clear our homes of yeast or leaven. So I watched Elder Apostle Tahar's video, and he said that he uses a certain corn tortilla or corn tortilla without the yeast in it. But nevertheless, I want to go into this. There's a few scriptures that I pulled out. Let's get this one first. Salakia. This is Leviticus 23. Leviticus 23. Let's go to verse 4. These are the feasts of the Lord, even holy convocations, which ye shall proclaim in their seasons. In the 14th day of the first month at evening is the Lord's Passover. So we're in that 14th day, and the Passover comes in at sundown, which is around 10 after 7 in this area. And on the 15th day of the same month is the feast of unleavened bread unto the Lord. 7 days must ye eat unleavened bread. And that's what I was getting into. Clearing our home of leaven, clearing our mind of leaven as well. Purging our conscience. And on the 15th day of the same month is the feast of unleavened bread unto the Lord. 7 days ye must eat unleavened bread. In the first day ye shall have a holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile work therein. And that's why we come together to have a feast. Let's go here to Sirach 43 and 5. Sirach 43 and 5. Great is the Lord that made it, and that his commandment runneth hastily. So the moons are for signs and feasts. Holy days also represents the times and the changing of the seasons. Sirach 43 and 6. He made the moon also to serve in her season for a declaration of times and a sign of the world. So Salakia for getting ahead of the scriptures. Salakia, or please forgive me for getting ahead of the scriptures. Let the word speak and let the scriptures come out. So this is how we mark time. But because of these various captivities and different eons under the heathen and various kingdoms, there's about 300 to 500 years unaccounted for. I gotta tell this story here. Yeah, I was did a video not too long ago, and I said there was about 300 something years missing from the calendar, right? So I was watching the House of David on Amazon Prime, and the scholars came together and said, now, when I did the lesson, it was spot on through the Spirit, not because of my own doing. So I said that the Red Sea crossing, which was the Suez Canal, was around 1200, 1250 BC. But when you look at that movie on Amazon Prime, The House of David, they mentioned that occurred about 500 years before King David, which would have put it around 1500 BC. So remembering that lesson I did, that we're missing about 300 something years. That's amazing. So the Holy Spirit calls me to say that, not because of my own doing, but we're still in this flesh. And hey, I've been having some slip of the tongue as well. I have to go back and do a correction video or put the correct scriptures in the comment box and in the description box. But anyway, I just thought that was very interesting. So a lot of scholars, they can put together a $50 million expedition and go and dig up artifacts and run tests and stuff. We're going based on the Spirit. Esau is carnal. Sirach 43:7. From the moon is the sign of feast, a light that decreaseth in her perfection. So the new moon is a black-faced moon. See, that's when it resets. That's the new moon. Let's go to Psalms. IUIC is going to confuse you, by the way. They teach the new moon is a full moon, glowing bright, full moon. That's bugged out. That's old. That's not new. It's new when it goes back and reset to a dark face. Psalms 104:19. He appointed the moon for seasons. The sun knoweth his going down. So we don't track time based on the sun. Many of these Salakia. I'm going to have to keep this short. Extreme dry throat. Anyway, I lost my damn train of thought. Many of these pagan nations were sun worshipers. So they would create and redo the calendar based on the sun, which is pagan and off. And it throws us off, where we wind up losing days that are not accounted for. Psalms 104:19. Now let's read that. The brother put an overview on lunar eclipses. So the experts are calling for a total lunar eclipse of the blood moon. Now I looked into it. It should be visible at various times between 2:30 and 3:30 in the morning, a.m., depending on where you're located at. Brother GMS Tazadakta Bon Yehoda, the AI overview, lunar eclipses can occur during the full moon phase, when the earth is positioned directly between the sun and the moon, casting its shadow on the lunar surface. And this is what makes it a sign and a wonder. But this is not in the normal battle rhythm or normal natural occurrence, if you will. So this is one of the things that make it a sign and a wonder, especially coming in after a new moon Sabbath. So I looked into it between 2:30 and 3:30 in the morning. Now, can Esau manipulate some of this stuff? Yes, he can. But I'm just giving it, that's why I want to stick to the scriptures. Because certain things can't be manipulated, like the signs of heaven. Let's go here. But he has technology where he can create false images as well. I just want to throw that out there. Let's go here. Hey, Issachar knew how to read the signs in heaven and the outer firmament. Yeah, that cuts IUIC bugged out. Hey, listening to IUIC will make you need an extra drink. You got to get an extra drink of something to kind of keep your mind stable. And they're drunk off the wine of Babylon. Bugged out. The leadership. Jeremiah 10 and 2. Let's go to 1. Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. So the ways of the heathen, first of all, sun worship, paganry. See? And one of the signs is going to be these so-called UFOs or chariots of the Lord. They appear as stars as well, or orbs, glowing orbs. They look like stars, glowing orbs. But the elect of Israel understand that these are the signs of the times, including blood moons. Let's go here. Sirach 43 and 6. He made the moon also to serve in her season for a declaration of times and a sign of the world. See? But the elect is looking forward to magnificent wonders, signs, marvelous events, and are not dismayed or terrified at the signs of heaven. Let's go to Acts and close out there. Acts 2 and 16. Book of Acts, chapter 2, verse 16. But this is that which was spoken by the prophet Joel. And it shall come to pass in the last days, saith God, I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, and your young men shall see visions, and your old men shall dream dreams. So our daughters are seeing vivid visions in their dreams, sleep. Doesn't mean they're standing out with a 12 tribe sign. So you bugged out Eves wearing a wig out there yelling at people, you are off, way off, bugged out. This is talking about you sharing your testimonial visions in the night, okay? When you're dreaming, so to speak, or seeing visions. That's the best way to say that. But not you trying to prophesy or teach the congregation. And it shall come to pass in the last days, saith God, I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, and your young men shall see visions, and your old men shall dream dreams. Brothers are seeing chariots render judgment with fire. Brothers are seeing massive slaughter and judgments to the wicked and to the rebellious house of Israel. See, blood moon right now that we're looking forward to seeing. See, signs in the outer firmament. Not too long ago, the planets aligned themselves. See, so everything together means something. Brothers are seeing Yahweh show up as a glowing light or orb, bringing judgment, seeing visions of fire raining down. We're here. Acts 2 and 18, and on my servants and on my handmaidens, and on my servants and on my handmaidens, Salakia. Acts 2 and 18, and on my servants and on my handmaidens, I will pour out in those days my spirit, and they shall prophesy. So I like the spirit is bringing Ezekiel 37 into my mind right now. So this had to occur prophetically. The valley of the dry bones waking up. So that spirit is raining down from the Most High through Yahweh. Remember Deuteronomy 32, that my doctrine shall drop down as the dew from heaven. And I'm paraphrasing. If somebody can post that. See that? That's how we're able to see visions. Massive animal carcasses littered around the earth represent judgment of people. And our Acts 2 and 19, and I will show wonders in heaven above and signs in the earth beneath, blood and fire and vapor of smoke. So brothers and sisters are seeing these visions. Brothers and sisters are seeing these magnificent wonders, signs, being ascended up. Okay, many of us have had these visions. Blood, see, even the blood moon. But we don't know if this is the blood moon. Okay? The Lord can execute a wonder or a magnificent event in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump. Acts 2 and 19, and I will show wonders in heaven above and signs in the earth beneath, blood and fire and vapor of smoke. The sun shall be turned into darkness and the moon into blood before that great and notable day of the Lord come. So it's not going to be no debate. Are we in Jacob's trouble? Are they implementing the mark of the beast or might be? We're going to know it. So when they come against the Lord's people, then he's going to execute massive judgment, which is going to be preceded with signs so that we know where we are in this chronological prophetic timeline. And it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of the Lord shall be saved. See, whosoever, Israel, the elect is worshiping and exalting his name. Believe in his holy name and tremble at his word. The elect are serious, worshiping the Lord in truth, in spirit and in truth. Very serious. Acts 2 and 21, and it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of the Lord shall be saved. Ye men of Israel, hear these words. Yahweh of Nazareth, a man approved of God among you by miracles and wonders and signs, which God did by him in the midst of you, as ye yourselves also know. So the same way Yahushua left in a star, a so-called UFO or chariot of the Lord, he's coming back in like manner. So there are men today on the earth who witness Yahushua departure and his magnificent works and wonders and signs and healing. There are witnesses on the earth today that are helping to bring forth the judgment by pronouncing sentencing. Declare ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. See? So admonishment goes forth, which is a austere or a harsh warning before judgments. Brother, spiritual art, let's close out here. We're going to close out here. Can't talk long. 2nd Ezra 9:1. He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before. See, Ezra is back. He's back teaching as a witness and giving testimony. Goes back to testicles, the men of the Lord, his saints. See, signs of the time, last days. 2nd Ezra 9:2. Then shalt thou understand. So when they received these prophecies, they really didn't understand what they were reading. They just write this. You ever had a supervisor? Don't talk, just write what I tell you to write. I've worked for guys like that. I'm not looking for your opinion, just write what I tell you. Okay? But now these men are back with more understanding because they've been regenerated and have obtained more growth and development spiritually, mentally. 2nd Ezra 9:2. Then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. The last days are marked by signs. These are mile markers, mile indicators, marks in the sand, so to speak, as to how far we've come and the distance to go. For like as all that is made in the world have a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. 2nd Ezra 9:5. For like as all that is made in the world have a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest, because of signs. Israelites are for signs as well. That's in Isaiah chapter, if somebody can post that. The Israelites are for signs. Israel is for signs. I love that scripture. It's in Isaiah 8:18. Isaiah 8:18. So we have to look at everything coming together, not isolated events. Then we're going to think the Lord delayeth his coming. 2nd Ezra 9:6. Even so, the times also of the highest have plain beginnings and wonder and powerful works and endings and effects and signs. Vapor of smoke, fire, see? Mass death, sickness, wars. Don't forget the implementation of the mark of the beast, or the Mot B. Isaiah 8:18. Let's go to 17. And I will wait upon the Lord that hideth his face from the house of Jacob, and I will look for him. Behold, I and the children whom the Lord hath given me are for signs and for wonders. In Israel, from the Lord of hosts, which dwelleth in Mount Zion. So his little sanctuary is sounding an alarm in his holy mountain of the lively stones of the elect. Hopefully this has been edifying. Keep me in prayer. Extreme dry voice and hurting and dry voice. But the spirit and power, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, let's go. Hopefully this has been an edifying lesson. See you on the next lesson, Lord willing. Kwam Yasharala. Kwam Yasharala and the Baal. We got next, Lord willing. Barakathum. Barakathum. and the Baal. Shalom. Shalom, beloved.